Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kimberly Guilfoyle Show, live on Rumble, where facts come first and where news is done right. And we begin with yet another Democrat media cover-up surrounding Joe Biden. Yesterday, Biden's spokesperson announced he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. We, of course, pray for a full recovery. But the timing does raise questions, more questions than answers, in fact, about who knew what and when did they know it. Here's Obama-era medical official Dr. Zeke Emanuel suggesting Biden likely was diagnosed years ago. Watch.
An oncologist, obviously incredibly respected. You believe that it is likely, just for those just tuning in, you believe it is likely if this prostate cancer has spread to the bone that he could have had it for up to a decade, but certainly it's likely. Would it be fair to say it's likely to have had this for at least several years?
Oh, more than several years. You don't get prostate cancer.
I just want to stop you. So this is not speculation. If you have prostate cancer that is spread to the bone, then he's most certainly, you were saying, had it when he was president of the United States.
Oh, yeah. He did not develop it in the last 100, 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency in 2021. Yes, that I don't think there's any disagreement about that.
Well, it comes on the heels of more troubling information released surrounding Biden's decline, including the tapes with special counsel Robert Hur. Now, Biden is unable to recall even the most basic of information. Take a look.
What's happened in the meantime is that Trump gets elected in November of 2016. All right. So, why do I have 2017 here?
That's when you left office, January of 2017.
Okay.
But it wasn't all that long ago that the media was lecturing us about Biden being better than ever. Remember this?
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now, he's cogent. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, you know, I don't know if people know this or not, Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, you know what, I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. And you...
SMDH. All right, and speaking of cover-ups, James Comey is in the crosshairs after getting a visit from the Secret Service last week after posting the image 8647 in seashells on the beach. The disgraced swamp creature who lectured the rest of us about integrity and principles has neither. Here's one former Secret Service agent laying out why Comey should be charged. Watch.
Hello, does James Comey's explanation of this pass any straight-face test? A shell formation, which is a threat to Donald Trump's life, is just something he came across on the beach.
Yeah, of course he did. He also came across the abominable snowman and Sasquatch while he was walking along on the beach. Listen, this guy, James Comey's been a problem since day one. He likes to talk about how Trump is unethical, immoral, a threat to the United States. Yeah, how about the former director of the FBI's got nothing better to do than put shells in a formation that says 8647, and then he claims, well, I just happened to find this, and you want to talk about this guy's mental cognition? Let's compare him to Joe Biden. Are you kidding me? This is just more of the same from, 120 or so days ago. This guy's trying to stay relevant. He's a complete zero, and this latest episode just shows what a complete clown show he is and the FBI is. And now the Secret Service is going to say, well, we're going to investigate. Are you kidding me? The Secret Service is no better now than it was when it had those last two directors. These guys can't get out of their own way. The FBI is a complete disgrace still. Kash Patel, Danny Bongino, Sean Curran over at the service need to clean house and get it done now. And I hope Pam Bondi and her people go after this guy with everything that he's worth.
Great interview by Laura Ingraham, and I love people who just tell like it is. Just the facts. And as FBI Director Kash Patel revealed in an interview that aired yesterday, they are still finding new Russiagate documents inside the Bureau, even 8 years later. And who wants to bet it will once again implicate Comey? Watch.
Throughout the Russia collusion story and the rest.
Look, I can speak to the folks that were in our seats, our predecessors, and they intentionally failed the American public by putting on the biggest DC deception game we've ever seen. They said the FBI was the most storied institution for law enforcement, and it was. And it will be again very soon. But when the likes of Comey and McCabe and Strzok and company came in here with the James Bakers of the world and intentionally lied to a federal court only to rig a presidential election by lying to the American public and using taxpayer dollars, likely illegally, to fund this entire operation and then withhold exculpatory information from a federal court that I used to appear before to manhunt terrorists, that's what broke the FBI. And then when they were caught, they lied about it. And you and a few others like Dan and others were brave enough to cover it 6, 7, 8 years ago. And we're still talking about it today because as Congress is working rigorously with us, the Crossfire Hurricane documents are coming fast and hard. And they're being sent there unredacted so we can have full accountability. And that's how you restore what the trust that was lost to the American public when it comes to the FBI.
Yeah, but come on, Director, with all due respect, we've been talking about this for a long time, and I've been demanding accountability for many, many years. You mentioned Comey, Strzok, and the rest. They've got TV shows. They've got media platforms. They're fine. There's been no accountability.
Well, look, it's a fair criticism, but what I will tell people is we weren't here in the FBI in the last 5 years when we had statute of limitations that were still in play, where we could have investigated criminal conduct. Most of these statute of limitations are 5 years old. And we will investigate criminal conduct where we find a righteous case to do so, and the law and the facts allow us to. But a lot of it we're precluded from. So we'll take the criticism, and it's rightfully so. That could we have done more in the past? Sure, people before us could have, but what we can do now is continue to put out the documents and the information that these people withheld from the American public. And I'm just telling you right now, as much as we know about Crossfire Hurricane, he and I just found out more last week. And we're continuing to work with Congress to put those documents out. That's how vindictive and vicious the former leadership structure here was. Not only did they bastardize the FISA process and lie to the American public, they withheld and hid documentation and put it in rooms where people weren't supposed to look. And it's a good thing we're here now to clean it up, and you're about to see a wave of transparency.
What do you mean?
Just give us about a week or two.
Okay. Well, I can tell you right now that the judge that gave us smack off.
And joining me now to react to this and so much more, one of our very, very favorites, a host of the Eric Dieters Show, author of The Butcher of Pakistan, the one and only Eric Dieters is back with us. Thank you so much for being on the program.
Thanks for being with you. And boy, is that a lot to talk about.
Oh my gosh. It's unbelievable though, isn't it? It's incredible. I love this. I know this is what you and I live for because we're both unafraid. We're transparent. Right. We like to get the facts, the evidence, the information out there. And I'll tell you this, I couldn't be prouder of those two gentlemen who are great friends of mine and great American patriots because they're not letting it go. Too many times people get in and they're just, oh, we're just going to let it go. We won. Okay, whatever. No, not whatever. Get to the bottom of it. Release it. Have accountability. These people who are so bad, they need to go to jail. I'm not joking. They wanted to put the president, who was innocent, in jail. How about the actual criminals go to jail? Refreshing thought. So let's get your thoughts about this Biden cover-up scandal first, okay, with the her audio tapes. It really is an indictment of the entire Democrat Party. We, of course, as we say, God bless, we wish Joe Biden a full recovery, okay? It's awful when anybody gets cancer. But these Democrats and the media, they still do have a lot of questions to answer. And I don't understand how his own family could let him proceed forward if the poor man had cancer of a serious nature like this. It's grotesque.
You know, I think everyone's been touched by cancer, but I'm somebody, I guess I'm able to compartmentalize. The fact that Joe Biden has prostate cancer is not going to change my viewpoint of his administration, his personal conduct, and everything about him. The Democratic Party and Joe Biden practice the art of transference more than anybody in history. And, you know, every single time they would accuse somebody of doing something, you know that they were doing it. And not only do you have the cover up of his cognitive decline, we now know that there's definitely a cover up relative to him having prostate cancer. We all know somebody who's had prostate cancer. My brother has prostate cancer right now, and he is 65 years old, and he says, Eric, they're not going to treat it, and they say I'm not going to die from it. Prostate cancer generally is slow. So they're coining this as aggressive, and it's metastasized. Well, if he had some kind of a prostate issue, even if it was benign way back when, they're going to be testing his PSA over and over and over again.
Right.
So not only based upon the Robert Hur audio tapes, where the guy is completely mumbo jumbo, not understanding anything, and I think that what we have here, Kimberly, is we have the political gangster family. I coined that phrase. Joe Biden is the biggest political gangster in history. He ran a crime family. The Trump family is not the crime family. The crime family is the political gangster.
Yeah,
Joe
it's like
Biden
opposite day again and again.
And you know, I think they released this, Kimberly, because the Hur tape was coming. There's no coincidences. You know,
Right.
Axios releases the tape. Oh, so let's get some sympathy for Joe.
Yeah, I think, listen, we obviously, again, prayers out to him, but, you also have to just be honest about what's transpiring here. It's the first thing I thought of. It's like, come on now, all of a sudden you're going to tell us about this to try to obfuscate, all the issues of, what went on and with those tapes and the special prosecutor, and clearly lacking any capacity to govern or serve as commander-in-chief of the United States. I mean, can you even just imagine that they do this and you put someone who's sick with metastasized
really
prostate cancer?
That he was our commander-in-chief, and we know about the
and dementia.
And Jill Biden. I always said this, Kimberly, and you know more than I do about the inner workings, but I've always said that I thought the presidency, who was running the presidency, was Jill Biden, Susan Rice, and Barack Obama.
Yeah, how many times have we said that?
That's what I think. I mean, he obviously wasn't. And again, look at the terrible, mean things they would say about President Trump's age and President Trump's cognitive issues. I mean, let's face it, President Trump is proven he's got it going on. He works his butt off. So it's just another example that, they can't be trusted. In fact, all these things, Kimberly, the sum total of it, look how little credibility they have. I mean, why would you believe the Democrats on anything?
Disturbing. Well, you wouldn't unless you just want to believe lies. You're like, hey, I'm going to have another, lie sandwich today and just eat some more lies that they're trying to throw and push down our throats. Now, this is the ironic part of this as well, Eric. Democrats claim, to care about preserving democracy, But think about it. They are the first ones right there, first in line to undermine it every single time. And you have said this about who was really running the country, but it's not just like, oh, political, hyperbole. Like, it's a serious question because it's so improper, but it's so bizarre when you think about it. It's like something out of Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Or House of Cards
it's
or whatever.
It's that Manchurian candidate, although he's not a Manchurian candidate, he's a puppet candidate. And what they wrought upon this country from A to Z is Joe Biden was always considered, as you know, politically, he's the moderate guy.
Right.
He's steady Joe. Well, what happened because of his cognitive and physical condition, they took over. The wild and crazy progressives took over, and they ran the show.
Yeah.
So the American public did not get what they voted for in Joe Biden. They were supposed to get moderate. Instead, they got a minute. Oh, and Kimberly, how about this? They were going to run him in this mental state and the cancer to run through 2029.
How insane is this? Think about that. I was literally just thinking it in my head, and they wanted him to be president. Like, we're forgetting, okay? Kamala, the coconut tree, fell off the coconut tree 5 seconds before the election because it was going to be Joe Biden all over again. Like, that was the horse they were riding in on.
Right.
They're like, Kamala's so unpopular and so horrific that we'll take a man who's dying of cancer with a very serious metastasized cancer, dementia issues. It just makes no sense. They're like, oh, we'll keep him.
And Kamala's statement when the her statement came out, and gosh, her voice is like chalkboard fingernails.
It gives me the chills.
When I can't stand here at all. She's talking, it's gratuitous, and it's this, and it's that. And it's just, oh my God, will you just shut up already? And she's the front runner for next go around, they say. But
is she?
It's just amazing what they covered up. Oh, and remember when President Trump was president 2016 to 2020? Oh, we need to invoke the 25th Amendment.
Amendment, yeah.
What? We need to invoke that 25th Amendment.
And he was like perfect score on the cognitive test and great health. People, it's just ridiculous. He looks better than ever. All these other presidents, boy, after 4 years, they look like a wreck. And look at how good President Trump looks. I'm not kidding. It's not because he's my friend. I love him. His family. I'm serious. Look at how good he looks.
Point, Kimberly. He's one of the few presidents who did not look like he aged.
I'm telling you.
President.
It's like Benjamin Button or something.
About President Trump? He loves the job.
I know.
They said Teddy Roosevelt just loved being president.
And he's invigorated by it.
And that's what Trump does. He just loves being president. He embraces it. He loves having that power to act. And that's another thing that President Trump uses. The number one bargaining chip in the entire world, more powerful than Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, in any country, is the power of the United States. And Trump, the deal maker, uses that power of the United States in negotiating tariff deals, you name it, any kind of deal. And Obama and Joe Biden, Bush 43, wanted to give it away. They wanted to give up that power. But President Trump loves having it, and he uses it for all of our benefit.
Absolutely right. And by the way, let's circle back. We're going all the way around the track here. Speaking of cover-ups, Eric, James Comey would know a thing or two about that, right? So he got a little visit from our friends over at the Secret Service after posting the 8647 on Instagram. What do you think of this story? What do you think of what he did?
Well, I would like to point out a few things which I haven't heard pointed out is the following. First off, I know that President Trump's Secret Service, the head of the Secret Service, is that fine man that was standing next to him all the time.
Sean Curran.
In Butler, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this is a guy who has been up front dealing with assassination attempts. Then you got a former FBI director who, if there's somebody that knows people that could be involved in a plot to kill the president, it's the FBI director. And then last but not least, Kimberly, you and I would love to question, and they're going to have some great people questioning, but I'm sitting there thinking to myself, Mr. Comey, when did you make this walk on the beach? Who was with you? Where did you find these shells? Let's find out who else was on the beach who allegedly put these shells together. Then his phone. Who did he text about this? Who did he call about this? Who did he email about it? I mean, if they dig in to this, they're going to find out a lot of great stuff. And
exactly.
You know, he is the biggest.
It's that phrase, I get by with a little help from my friends.
As I told you and Don Jr., the president in 2016 relied, and you know this, relied upon all the Bushites, you know, relying on McConnell and Jeff Sessions and all these people. And we got Christopher Wray and we got Barr and we got Comey. That's not happening this time around. So old Comey is going to get what he deserves, and he deserves anything he gets.
Oh, it's been so bad. You can't even wrap your head around the fact that he was the head of the FBI, and just look at the juxtaposition between him and Kash Patel, and we got Bongino, and just unbelievable. They're just gonna unleash hell.
What 86 meant?
What?
He didn't know what 8647 meant.
Yeah, I know. Come on.
And that's another thing.
Well, then why did he do it? What did he think he was doing?
What? Posted the other one.
Makes no sense.
Okay, you said you didn't know that was violence. Well, then you get to dig into that. You get to talk to his colleagues. Hey, during the prosecution of drug cartel members, did Comey know what 86 meant?
Yeah,
so
he did.
You know there's got to be some record where you can disprove that he did know what 86 meant.
Sounds like you want to prosecute him. I love it. Between the two of us, we're like, yeah, and then this, Now, unlike, and by the way, can we just talk about, what is he doing? It's not very, also, he's playing with seashells on the beach.
What is the former FBI director reporting us? He's walking on the beach and there's seashells. And he's just you know what? I got this phrase, Kimberly, that you're free to, he's just a yuck. He's just a yuck.
I don't even know what that means, but I can tell by your laughter. Yes, it's just a yuck. Okay, I get it. It's just, it's bad. It's a double yuck. You're right. All right. So now, unlike, Biden, talk about juxtaposition again. With President Trump, there is absolutely zero question of who is in charge, who is in control. All right. And today, he announced that his phone call with Putin is leading to ceasefire talks between Russia and Ukraine. So do you think there's an opportunity here at this moment in time for an agreement, or do these two countries even want that? I'm asking you to wildly speculate and give us your opinion.
I think what's going to happen is, first off, President Trump and his genius of getting a minerals deal with Ukraine, which could pay for every nickel plus we ever paid Ukraine. And I think armed with that, Putin has lost all his angle. So I think President Trump now can talk a little stern. Everybody acted like he was the Zelensky White House interview. I told everybody, I said, that's just now. You watch, as soon as he gets the Zelensky deal, he's going to go and get Putin in on the deal. So I think he will get a deal done, because Russia's, I saw a report today that Russian farmers are collapsing. They can't afford tractors. But, you know, President Trump says this, and I like when he says it, is that war would have never happened if he was president. And I'm a list keeper, because keeping lists, Kimberly, helps me remember things. Yeah. Because the Democrats and the left and the wokers, they want you to forget when all they had to do, and this is the greatest tragedy. Trump talks about the human toil. And nobody talks about this. All Biden had to do was get with Zelensky and say, listen, we're going to tell Putin you're never going to be in NATO. Now, if they invade your country, you know we're going to help you. So not being in NATO doesn't mean squat anyway. All they had to do in diplomacy is tell Putin, okay, Ukraine will never be part of NATO. Don't worry about it. And they could have told Putin, do not go into that country. They could have did the no-fly zone. They could have put NATO tanks in there, whatever. They let this war happen. In other words, the tragedy is not only if Trump was president, it would have never happened. And I love reminding everybody this, Kimberly. Nobody talks about this. He took Georgia, the former state of Georgia, when George Bush 43 was president. He took Crimea when Obama was president. He took Ukraine when Biden was president. He didn't take any territory when Trump was president. Everybody forgets about Bush 43 letting him take Georgia. But the tragedy of it all is it didn't have to happen. Joe Biden let it happen.
Well, you're 1,000% correct. Okay, thanks for that very accurate history lesson. Look, I'm optimistic about it, but I just want to go out and throw the term that I just learned out. A yuck Zelensky. Now that guy, what is his problem? Remember when he was in the White House in the Oval? He acted like a fool, and like Trump and Vance and Rubio schooled him.
You know the thing about Zelensky is the sense of entitlement.
That's what bugs me.
The entitlement, like you all have to do this, blah blah blah. And of course, he was used to getting away with that. And J.D. Vance and President Trump, said. And by the way, this is so funny. I bond with President Trump so much. He said something I always use. He goes, "You don't have any cards to play." And one of my favorite negotiating phrases is, "The biggest mistake you make is overplaying your cards." And when Trump said, "You don't have any cards," I said, he's right. He's going to get annihilated. Zelensky acted as if he was entitled to all of this aid, no matter what it costs, no matter what anything. And it's just wrong. And he's going to have to accept. You can't give Crimea. Crimea's gone. It was gone under Obama. And they're just going to have to accept some territorial divisions and move on. Russia is the more powerful country militarily, backed by G. It's just the reality of it is. So I do think there's going to be a peace, because I think the alternative is bad, because I think what President Trump will do, is if Putin messes around, he is going to start the economic sanctions. He's going to do something that cripples him even more from an economy standpoint. What all that is, I don't know. But by the way, just throwing some more sunshine on Trump. What his team's unbelievable. His cabinet's unbelievable up and down, especially his Greek ambassador to come. But one of the things is his foreign relations team, Witkoff and Rubio and all of them, J.D. Vance. My God, what a team they've got.
I got to tell you, it's unbelievable to me. I love it when Trump said that. He's like, "You don't have any cards." Like, it's just, he's so savage. I love it. Okay, let's play a game. Every time we say Trump, we have to drink Diet Coke to have superpower.
When in 2015, when he decided to run, Kimberly, I said to myself, the country is ready for straight talk, the way you and I talk.
Thank you.
None of the political crap. And
absolutely.
I said, he's the only guy that will talk to Hillary the way Hillary needs to be spoken to. Mitt Romney and John McCain were all proper teacup Republicans, teacup Republicans, and they got their asses handed to them. The Democrats loved running against Romney and McCain, and they tried to put Trump in jail.
I know.
And that's another thing. You know what's funny? Hillary thought she would win, and all this stuff that we found out because she didn't win. Think of all the things we're now finding out because Kamala didn't win. We wouldn't know this stuff.
That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
But we're going to find it all out now. I'm excited about it.
We are.
So, as President Trump said in the Middle East, we've got to care about ourselves and our own backyard instead of constantly devoting all of our attention to the others of the world. I've heard him say this a million times. It's not like, political rhetoric that he thinks is popular to say. It's 1 billion% what he believes. What do you think?
I agree 100%. And his whole foreign diplomacy is, again, using that power of the United States. And let me give you an example, Kimberly, anecdotally, metaphorically. I'm into martial arts. And I'll never forget my karate sensei, Bill Dimitrick, who was incredible. And he would always say, you know what? Even if you are the baddest ass in town, you don't walk through the bad part of town. You avoid the bad part of town.
What is happening with this show? I love this.
He says, Eric,
did you just go like Karate Kid on me or something? I don't even know what's
and
happening.
Just by looking at him, they'll be scared of you. And I can tell you right now, and you know I'm Jason Statham besides Eric Dieters. If you just look at Jason Statham's eyes.
I knew you. Wait, did you just say Jason Statham again?
Jason Statham.
Oh my God, we can't do a show without Jason Statham. It's like unbelievable. I love this.
You're not going to mess
because I thought of him. I said, talk about the biggest badass. So he wouldn't even walk in the bad part of town. Yeah.
Donald Trump's policy is about peace through strength and power. And it is, you know what's wild, Kimberly, about how dumbass George Bush 43 and Joe Biden and Barack Obama, a great apologist, is that principle has been true from the beginning of time. Yeah. Beginning of time. Peace through strength. Like Teddy Roosevelt. Talk softly and carry a big stick. Trump talks loud and carries a big stick.
Oh my God.
Bottom line is
from Jason Statham to big stick.
Look what he's doing with the Ukrainian war. Xi's not going to invade Taiwan. If Kamala Harris would have won, that would have happened. I mean, so I really do think what's another great accomplishment of this president in like his first 200 days is he's going to get world peace.
No, I listen. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm with you all the way. Okay, you had me at Jason Statham, then Teddy Roosevelt, big stick, all of the above. Boom, done. That's what I call the Dieters Doctrine, okay? This is our Dieters Doctrine, baby. Get involved. All right, so I got more for you. Let's see, because you're keeping up with me pretty good. That's impressive. All right, so the president, and we'll say Trump, and congressional Republicans are trying to get on the same page of this, big, beautiful reconciliation bill. How do you assess where President Trump stands versus where some House Republicans stand? Where can we cut? What should we cut? What's the negotiating tactic here? What line should we fall down on and agree upon at the end of the day?
First off, I just love that President Trump's terminology, one big beautiful bill.
Oh, it's out of control.
It's been cemented. And I saw Caroline Levitt up there today going, the one big beautiful bill. She must have said it 20 times.
It's like when he said big beautiful, coal.
Here is my, I am in the district of the one and only jackass Congressman, Thomas Massey, who has never done a single thing in the Northern Kentucky 4th Congressional District across from Cincinnati. And here's what I have to say about those Republicans. Thank God it got out of the Budget Committee, and it's going to go to the full House. And Kimberly, I can go history with anybody. I am rereading right now. This is funny. I didn't mean. I just had this. I didn't bring this prop. Biography.
He's got a prop on the show
Marshall,
now.
The third Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
Pretty amazing.
I'm going to tell you something. I would say to all these constitutionalists, all these people say, we're constitutionalists, da-da-da-da-da, and all this stuff. Our country itself, the entire Constitution, the ratification conventions were unbelievable. The last state to ratify our Constitution to make it 9, they had to get 9, was Virginia. And all the bigwigs from Virginia went at it. You had Patrick Henry on this side, John Marshall on this side, George Wythe on this side, Pendleton, Mason was on the side of Henry. It was and you know what? When it got all the way down to it, you know what Patrick Henry did? He was the leader of the Anti-Federalists. He said, you know what? I will accept this Constitution because it's better than nothing. And they decided, James Madison promised him that they would do the Bill of Rights, the amendments, the following year. That was the great compromise. So what I would say to Thomas Massey and all the others that want to be obstructionist Republicans is, okay, let's play your game. All those people that you claim are the fathers of our Constitution compromised. And I will always use that great line that Abraham Lincoln had in the movie Lincoln, where he said to Thaddeus Stevens on the 13th Amendment, he said, you know what? When you're going due north, sometimes you got to cross a creek. Sometimes you got to cross a river. Sometimes you got to go through here. So I would say to them, you know what? It's a messy business legislation, but let's pass the big, beautiful bill and let the economy soar. Because you know, Kimberly, combination of the tariff deals, regulation that he's using his executive orders on, and that tax bill, oh my God, we are going to roar. The economy will roar.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think you're absolutely right. But some of these people, it's just like they're obstructionists. You know, they're not helping at all. They don't understand the spirit and nature of compromise, doing what's in the best interest, you know, of the country. It's like they're just like attention starved.
Compromise is, in fact, the backbone of legislation from state houses to Congress. It's always been. You don't always. The Rolling Stone song that President Trump used on the campaign trail. You don't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. And they just have to stop being, you know, we all know that our $1 trillion, $38 trillion is an issue. But let me tell you about that, Kimberly, just so you know. It was $5 trillion. George Bush 43 took it to $10 trillion. Barack Obama took it to $15 trillion. Poor old President Trump comes in with COVID. He comes in, he gets hit with the COVID mess. And then what does Joe Biden do? He comes in and lets it fly. Donald Trump is not responsible for this debt issue. And the bottom line is Trump's idea of getting out of this debt is tariff deals to solve that. And by the way, I even saw there was a $200 billion budget surplus this past month, even though we're down for the year. And the economy, grow out of it.
Right.
Try to grow out of it and sell $5 million gold cards.
Oh my God, I love this. I like that though. Sometimes you don't get what you want, but you get what you need. Exactly. And that's the thing. And they should keep that in mind as they're doing these negotiations. So I got a couple of more things for you. Number one, you see on the screen there, please do check out the Eric Dieter Show anywhere that you get your podcast, because you see how wildly informed and entertaining that he is. And so you will get unbelievable analysis, and it's well worth the time that you spend. Also, my friend,
thank you, Kimberly.
Absolutely. I believe it with all my heart. If I can ask you to give me also an update on the case, because we care a lot about this. We've been focusing on it tremendous amount, on this program. And so I want to give the viewers an update about where things stand.
On the case involving the Dr. Durrani victims in the book, The Butcher of Pakistan, 580 people who suffered unnecessary spine surgeries. Where the case stands right now is we are waiting for a federal judge, Michael Barrett, in the Southern District of Ohio in Cincinnati, to make a ruling to give us a trial on our fraud case. We also have 21 cases moving forward against Cincinnati Children's Hospital. You can't make this up. Cincinnati Children's Hospital, the #1 children's hospital in the country, allowed Durrani to do spine surgeries. And you're going to kick out of this, Kimberly. Because they wouldn't give these people their trials, and it's been 13 years and counting as we do trials 2 at a time, and it's going to take 20 years. We are filing to the United States Supreme Court by June 15th an appeal of a district ruling that they said, too bad on your trials. You're supposed to get your trial within 3 years, but too bad if you're a Durrani victim. And then last but not least, we have had some great conversations with an executive producer out in LA Way, and he is very, very interested in the story. I'm supposed to have another Zoom call with him. I had a 40-minute Zoom call with him a couple of weeks ago, and he's thinking 4-part Netflix series and a major motion picture. I told him, I said, only if Jason Statham's available to play me.
All right, fantastic. And tell everybody where they can go to get all the Eric Dieter's information.
You can go to butcherofpakistan.com, butcherofpakistan.com, or ericdieters.com.
Exactly. Both very well-performing sites. So that's fantastic. Hey, I want to thank you for spending time with me today. It's a very busy news day, been a busy past week, in fact, with everything going on and then all the tremendous accomplishments of President Trump, overseas in Saudi Arabia and Riyadh and Qatar, all of the above. So I'm excited about it and what he's doing, for this country. And no, it's music to our ears and beautiful to see and witness this amazing chapter in American political history. And I'm sure glad to be able to experience it with you.
Thanks for having me on. You picked a good day to have me on. I appreciate it. By the way, the Middle East thing, how incredible is it that Trump has Middle East now with the United States instead of China, and Israel's still our ally?
Unbelievable. I love it. I love it.
Arabs and Jews, dogs and cats sleeping together.
Oh my God. You can't make it up. Just when I was rapping him, he's like, there you go. I love it. All right. I enjoy it. Can't wait to go driving with you again, Statham.
Right. We'll see how fast we can go next time.
Yeah, that was so bananas. I'm like, we're off the freeway now. What just happened? We went into the airport to pick up Don Jr. on 2 wheels. We're going so fast.
Kimberly and her assistant missed the exit and drove down a grass embankment while they were bouncing around. Yes,
literally. It was like so bananas. I know. I love it. Well, you're the absolute best. We look forward to having you on again very, very soon, okay?
Thanks for having me.
All right, honey. Be good. Thank you so
You
much.
too.
And my closing remarks just ahead. Didn't you enjoy that? I sure did. So in the meantime, also be sure to check out the 1775 Coffee Company. Not sure Eric Dieters needs some, but you might. We talk about it all the time. Don't compromise on taste, on quality, or your values. And 1775 Coffee is brewed to perfection, crafted with precision, and built on patriotism. The farm-to-cup process means there is quality, authenticity, and sustainability from start to finish. All the beans are ethically and exclusively single-sourced, so why not try 1775 Coffee today? Go to 1775coffee.com/KG, and you can get 15% off of your first order. All right. In closing, just take a moment to understand just how destructive the Democrat machine really is. Think about it. Covering up another major Biden scandal with their unquestioning allies in the media. They talk all about wanting to protect and preserve democracy, but they do anything and everything they can to actually undermine it. The good news is President Trump is always standing in their way. Thank you so much for joining us today, for being great patriots. Please be sure to download the Rumble app, subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, like and share, and tell all your friends so they know exactly where to find us. And please also be sure to follow me across all platforms: X, Truth Social, Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. Stay tuned to Rumble for all the very latest big breaking news coverage. And don't miss Don Jr.'s big show at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. He's all fired up. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again very soon. God bless.